What's up, Staunch Gang? I wanted to pop in for a quick recommendation. I just watched Owen Klein's debut, Funny Pages, from A24, and I had one hell of a time. Now, I'm going to warn you guys now, I might be talking some spoilers, and you might think I'm kind of weird for liking this one.
You're already at a professional level of drawing for what you want to do. Everything in your portfolio needs to be very clearly coming from who you are.
Film stars virtual unknown Daniel Zolgaldry, I think that's how it's pronounced, and one of my all-time favorite character actors, Matthew Marr, here in a real kind of leading role. And this movie is just, it's so brilliant. I love it. It's one of the slowest burns I've seen all year in classic A24 fashion, I guess. But I'm talking, when I say slow burn, it is a slow, awkward burn. And it's like the burn never really gets anywhere. And when the movie's over, you're kind of left with this ambiguous, kind of empty, gross feeling, which I just love. I love it when a movie's able to do that. The movie tells the tale of a young kid who's thinking of going to art school, thinking of going to college, whatever, and he gets deterred by his high school art teacher. And then after some unfortunate circumstances, well, he decides maybe the art teacher was right, and he drops the idea of going to college, moves out on his own into one of the most disgusting apartments I've ever seen in film or otherwise. And he decides, I'm going to make it on my own in the comic business. And what his particular comics, they're a take on the old, crude, like Robert Crumb kind of street alternative stuff, like the old Ralph Bakshi, Fritz the Cat, big boobs, big bulges, and nasty bald guys doing crazy X-rated stuff. You know what I'm talking about, those comics. And he's in love with this stuff, and that's what he's going for here. And I guess there's a real throwback feel, like it really does feel like a love letter to like Robert Crumb or Harvey Pekar. And the film takes on like a kind of like a Gummo meets, I don't know, any Todd Solondz film like Happiness or Welcome to the Dollhouse. There's some extreme pitch dark comedy vibes. This is the darkest of dark comedies I think I may have ever seen. And then so once the kid finally decides that he's going to take this other path to find his success, he winds up running into someone who formerly worked at Image Comics. And to him, this guy is like a god. He made it. He worked for Image Comics. But little does he know, this guy is very, very troubled, and he gets sucked into his little whirl, and everything just kind of goes crazy. It's hard to explain this movie. It's hard to explain this movie, for real.
What would it take for a drawing lesson, honestly? You consider yourself a cartoonist, right? I'd pay you. How much?
The character Wallace, the guy that works at Image Comics, kind of takes on the unwanted mentor role. I mean, he is brilliant. I love him in this movie. This dude plays him down to a T, and you've seen him in Kevin Smith movies and whatnot. He played another very creepy guy, Matthew Marr, that is. He played another very creepy character in the film Vulgar. You can see me cover that one next, why don't you? Don't you just love that movie, Vulgar? Another gross out, kind of weird movie that did a lot of things for me that this movie did. I know, I'm a weirdo. And all the comic references and stuff, it kind of takes like the Kevin Smith vibe and just ups the ante here. Like, they mentioned some pretty obscure stuff. And if you're not hip to the lingo and you don't really know what's happening as far as old comics and old strips and stuff like that, if you don't have a respect for that, you're not going to really dig this movie, Let's see. He makes some friends along the way. He moves in with some very oddball characters. In fact, the grossest scene that I have ever seen on film, maybe, definitely in the last couple years, is in Funny Pages. You can almost smell some of the scenes.
Where would I be staying?
Steven's room.
Hi there.
And he has a best friend. I forget his name, but his best friend is so funny. And, Andy Milonakis shows up. So anytime Andy Milonakis shows up, you got to just lap that shit up. Who doesn't love Andy Milonakis?
He's a horrible man.
What happens if you come out ruined, which is what's going to happen?
And all like the gross stuff, like the extremely gross out humor, it all makes like kind of a mockery of how obscene it is. The film is almost a mockery of itself, about how nasty things can get and how quick it could happen, you know, and how you can make plans and you can think you're on the right path, but if you are a spoiled brat little asshole and you take advantage of whoever you can and you just don't care and you're not working very hard for what you want, fuck you, basically, is like the message of this movie. But again, I think the annoying, unlikable characters all throughout, it's supposed to be almost like one of those comics put on screen. Almost kind of like how Ghost World kind of played with, you know, the we're kind of making a comment on what's happening around us with these comic strips and whatnot. It plays with that kind of stuff. It goes where films like Art School Confidential and Ghost World only dare. And I don't know, the film kind of takes itself, it puts a mirror up to society, and you see the relative oddness between normal life and these bizarre old comic strips, you know, and how none of it really fits, especially in today's world. And the ending, I absolutely love it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I just didn't see it coming. And when it's done, you kind of see, like, you feel like you got a finale. You feel like the movie went somewhere, and then you start thinking about it, and I mean, it's very strange. That's what I came up with, is that the old school comics and the old style of doing things and wanting to be an auteur and whatnot, it doesn't come easy. At all. I highly recommend this movie, Funny Pages, to everybody watching this, and please check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm a fucking weirdo. I don't know. I love these silly, strange, bizarre, gross out movies, and in my opinion, this is one of the best films of the year. Until next time, Staunch Gang, please make sure you're subscribed, like, comment, all that good shit, and don't forget to rewind.